Okay, welcome back to Alexander Shares the Wild. In this episode, I go in pursuit of finding the key deer. So this is an endangered small species of deer. It's basically originated from the white-tailed deer on the North American mainland, and so. Years ago, as the water levels stranded these deer on the island, some of the whitetails, they became the key deer over time, and due to the islandic effect of limited nutrients and different food profiles for them, they shrank in size. So it's a pretty unique situation for these little deer, and it's a privilege to see them. So I went to several areas on Big Pine Key and No Name Key to try to find these deer. So it was a fun adventure, and in the process, I went to various locations and saw other animals. So I'll share those as well. Nature never disappoints. So also there's the oldest. I'm not sure if it's the oldest pub in the United States. I think it is. It's called No Name Pub. It's kind of a world famous spot. So I was able to visit that and took a little footage of that as well. So anyway, it was good times, and I'm happy to share this footage with you. So enjoy. So here's a little board I found in the Keys, kind of going over a little bit about the key deer and a little bit of what I've said already, but you can pause this and read if you're interested in a little more information. But let's go find a real one to look at. Okay, we're looking for key deer, and I think there's one over in here, a little doe. The path is muddy, so I'm just trudging through. Back in there. All right, I'm gonna keep looking, try to get a little better shot. It's quite the wet trail. There's even fish in these waters. Okay, I'm still meandering through this habitat, and we do see a buck. We should have some developed antlers because they're in kind of the mating season or going into it. So yeah, they should have their antlers, I'm thinking. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll come upon one. All right, this is a pretty cool habitat. It's dried up a little bit here. I got through the swampy area. So I'm thinking these deer generally are not shy. They don't have predators, so I think they're not too scared of people, so I'm not too concerned about my voice or talking here. So if they're here, they're here. Alrighty, so the last location was not productive, so I'm down the road maybe a mile or two at another location, the Blue Hole. So I'm gonna walk in here and see if we can see a key deer. So we'll just keep trying till we get there, but maybe we'll see something cool in here as well if we don't see a key deer. Okay, I made it to the Blue Hole. I didn't see a key deer on the way over. It was just a little short jaunt, but there's this needlenose fish in here, which is pretty awesome. But there's this large fish in here cruising around. And at first I was like, what the heck is that? It was maybe three feet long. It was a big fish. And then I had my suspicions. I thought maybe it's a tarpon. And indeed, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a large tarpon, and it has been stranded in this pond from the tidal surge of the hurricane. So this is where he lives now until he gets opportunity to leave. But that was a big fish. And these little needlenose fish, I think, is what they are. And then on a rock, there were a few turtles just basking, getting a little sun. So that was it for the Blue Pond. No key deer. So the search continues. All right, so I'm in a hammock hardwood forest by the famous No Name Pub, which is just behind me down the street. So I had lunch there. I'm still looking for the key deer. And so I was just taking a walk through the neighborhood and found a little area where I could dodge off into the hammocks or forest area. And so I haven't seen a deer yet, but I think some of these are deer trails. So, but I did find this really cool spider, which is a similar spider to the one I saw at a nature trail in Key Largo. So anyway, I'll show you that. It's much larger. Okay, here he is, or she. So it's eating something. It's feeding on, I think it's actually a roach of some sort. But there's a nice large one right in the middle of this pathway. So you'll have to forgive me. I'm still trying to get good at filming these spiders. I'm going to get there eventually. But anyway, so this is jumping around a little bit. I'm using a palm frond to try to get the camera to focus at this distance. It's kind of working. But anyway, I try various things to get focus. But it's an absolutely beautiful spider. I'd say the legs across, so maybe 2 or 3 inches, the long ways diagonally. It's a pretty good sized spider. It might even be a little bit more, but I do get some clear shots of it, and I just love this spider with the black and the yellow bands. It's a very beautiful spider. So in a second here, I'll throw up my hand, because the palm frond sort of work, but then why not try your hand? I was fortunate because the spider, you could see it turning its food a little bit, trying to get another bite into it to suck some juices out. But anyway, so I was a little bit distracted, so I was fortunate that way. I didn't want to disturb it too much. But spiders are interesting in that they don't actually eat the whole food item. They just suck the juices out of them. Okay, so here's relative to my hand. You can see how large this spider is. It's definitely good size. Yeah, so it's maybe 4 inches across diagonally, 4 or 5 inches. A nice big one. Okay, Faya, so I found a little spot to sit, and it looks pretty good. It opens up a little bit, and I think I heard a deer back in here. So I do know, just from being in the woods quite a bit, deer can be curious. So I'm gonna sit here and see if one comes out of the woodwork, and maybe I could get a shot of one. So I'll just give it a little bit of time. All right, that location was not productive either. So I'm driving on and going out to No Name Key to try to find a key deer there. But this is the No Name Pub, the world famous pub. So it says on here, oldest bar, built 1936. So there you have it. Okay, so I'm at the Key Deer National Refuge, and I'm at the end of No Name Key. So it's off of Watson Boulevard, past the No Name Pub, and so the ranger this morning said this is pretty vast in here. You could walk all day long if you wanted to. Different kind of habitats, mangrove and hammock, and so anyway, I'm going to try to find a key deer in a natural setting. So we'll see how it goes. And here's a little bit of footage of the path I'm walking. It's pleasant in here. It's about, I don't know, 10:30 in the morning. An old Japanese man once told me that one of the secrets to longevity is to look up. So here I looked up and saw a solo frigate bird amongst the vultures, and you can see it looks very different. It's quite the soaring bird, so that was nice to see as my search for the key deer continues. And here finally I see something in the trees. A little bit of movement, and I think it's a key deer. Difficult to see, but I'm definitely on the right trail here. Another angle, zooming in. Definitely a deer. So my patience eventually paid off, and a nice key deer came out of the woods, quite curious, and wanted to come take a look at me. And it was a beautiful little doe key deer. Few will see this deer or travel to these keys to see them, but I'm happy to be able to see them and share this rare animal. So as I did travel around a bit more on No Name Key, I came across a couple more key deer and was able to film them a bit. So they were just so gentle and just not fearful that much. So that was really nice. And again, it was just a really great time to be able to see this rare animal, and it's a survivor, and I'm glad there's so much land set aside as a preserve for these animals. I did want to see a buck key deer, and I did see this little fella sitting chewing his cud, and he had one little antler on one side, none on the other, but I'm going to go with it so I can say I saw a buck key deer. So that was on the list for a goal as well. So anyway, he was a cute little guy and was accommodating. Okay, I'm still on Pine Key, and I was driving on Long Beach Road, and I saw this snake. So I just want to check it out. It looked really cool. So I don't know what kind of snake it is, but it's freaking cool. Yeah, I don't know what kind it is. No idea. I mean, I know black racers are on the island, but yeah. It's a beauty. Got a little snub tail there. I got pecked at. Its eyes seem to have round pupils. Some sun coming out. It's beautiful. What a treat to see this little snake on Pine Key. So I'll have to investigate and see what kind of snake this is. There's keeled scales. Yeah, I'm gonna shimmy him off the road so he doesn't get run over. All right, good. Just going off towards the water. He's happy in the water, so I think it's a definitely an aquatic snake, which makes sense. All right, super awesome to see that guy. Well, that was absolutely fantastic to see this snake, and later I did a little research, and the best I came up with on this was a salt marsh snake. So they are said to be in the Keys, and they are fairly polymorphic, so they have various colors that they come in, but the scalation on the on its head and lips, everything looked correct. So pretty sure that's what it was, but that's some nice bonus footage there for you for sticking around, and we'll see you next time.